Apparently, the Bears have requested an interview with Mike McCarthy for the head coach vacancy, but Dallas decided to decline that offer. So I assume it's because Mike McCarthy might be coming back to Dallas, but there's no confirmation, there's no signed paper with that. So I don't know. Might see something around the time of the wild card weekend or the deadline of the contracts expiring on the 14th of January. So yeah, apparently I assume Mike McCarthy might be coming back, and maybe Jerry just didn't want anybody to interview Mike McCarthy because of that. But I think it's
why take a day to respond? I guess that's my question, because they took like a full day plus to respond to the Bears' request.
It's the Jerry business tactic, and
It's petty.
if you're whatever you call it, it's how things been kind of rolling with Dallas. They wait to the very last minute on things, and for it, it's just kind of the waiting game. It's the norm. I'm just not ready to talk about it fully until I know who the head coach is. I got until the 14th to figure out what's happening. Is Mike McCarthy gone? Is there a new head coach coming in? My personal favorite to be the head coach is Mike Vrabel, but I doubt that's happening.
So you don't think Mike McCarthy's coming back?
If he comes back, it's going to be either in a way where they'll probably work with him on probably not being the play caller. And if that's not the case for McCarthy, I will let him walk. But a lot of the players, a few players spoke that they want McCarthy back. I just think there's need to be a new voice in the organization. And I think they need to move from being a coach, but bring in a player who can coach the players and play the game. Because I think they need a voice of better discipline, as well as someone who is fully understanding of being in their shoes. And he has the rings. Yeah, he doesn't have the Super Bowl rings as a head coach, but if it's a Mike Vrabel, I can see him throwing his rings on the table, being like, I was in the same area where you guys are, and I won these things. So he has that insight to be able to engage with the players, that they have a better understanding, better of a disciplinary actions. Because for Mike McCarthy, I know what he's capable of doing. You can give him the 3 straight 12-5. I give that to you. But along the way, these darn pre-snap penalties, I can't tell you how much momentum you can go with moving the ball and there's a penalty that sets you back. I hate to see that for a team. When you lead the league in penalties and pre-snap penalties, that hurts you. And if you're not fully engaged in making sure your team is going where they need to go, I'm tired of it. I'm ready for a new voice. And I just feel like he's really lazy on the fact of getting the team ready. I've seen too many teams these last couple of years that are a stacked team and they just not prepared in the postseason. I can't tell you how many times as a fan, and I can speak for other Cowboy fans with this, on seeing a top-notch roster not ready for the postseason. Yeah, there's something wrong. When you saying the guys, they were scared, they were not ready to play, no, you can't have that. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm done, but a lot of people have been saying, and I'm not one of those people, but Dallas won't see success until Jerry meets the ground. And with that could be true, because I don't think Jerry cares about winning anymore. I think he's at that point now, he wants Jerry's World to be the biggest magical place on world, aka Barnum and Bailey's, the greatest show. Like, it's in that mindset. It's no longer about football. Now, I believe Stephen Jones, I'll give him this credit. I think he will bring a guy in because all he cares about is the money. But if it's a coach coming in here, I think the coach will coach. But until that point, when we get there, we got what we got. So whatever happens, I just got to see what happens on the 14th. I digress.
So real quick. Mike McCarthy's contract. Does he have a contract for next year? Or
No.
do they have to renew it or extend it?
It expires on the 14th. All the coaches.
Okay.
So not just him. But I'll just say, sorry, go ahead.
All of them. No, you're good.
So that's next week, basically.
Yep. So you got McCarthy, Al Harris, Mike Zimmer, Jeff Zergonia, Paul Gunther. You got the other coaches that's there as well. Scott McCurley, Brian Schottenheimer, the fool Jeff Blasco. Like, you got all these guys. All the coaches' contracts are up on the 14th. So, yeah, I just got to wait till that time happens. When I figure out what's happening, then I'll have a barbershop talk with JT.
I think the question before Lucas goes, I think the question is not does Jerry Jones want to bring back Mike McCarthy? I think the question is, does Mike McCarthy want to come back to that?
I don't think he wants to. Like, there's no salary cap when it comes to coaches, and he's only getting paid $4.5 million. And if you look at some of the other coaches in the double digits, 8 of those coaches are in the postseason. They pay for what they have, and boom, you got it. And when you're just shortchanging a coach that you're really handcuffing and not really letting him get the best out of his time there, no doubt in my mind, if they gave him the full reins to do what he needs to, I can at least make that judgment to see it. They really cut this man to the core this season, gave him nothing. Even when he brought in Zimmer, they didn't really do much to help Zimmer. Zimmer was working with what was in-house. So maybe it was a test on the Joneses' part, which I think is stupid. But even at that point in time, I think Jerry is to the point now he wants to keep McCarthy. But maybe Stephen Jones is like, yeah, we need to bring someone else in here because we already know what we got in McCarthy. But if you want to win, then maybe he can't get you there, or maybe he can, but you got to give him the full reins to let him do his thing. But I can't make that judgment. I just gotta see what happens. So I'm in the waiting game like everyone else.